Stephen King comes up with an interesting and somewhat creative premise for a new TV show, Under the Dome, 2013. A small town in rural America finds itself suddenly imprisoned underneath a giant transparent dome. Stay tuned to hear what we thought about this. Thanks for coming back to Cheers and Jeers, where we've been taking a look at some of the more short-lived or perhaps forgotten TV shows of the past, and we're going to be looking now at Under the Dome from 2013. It lasted 3 seasons, and it was written by Stephen King. He had Stephen King's specialty is coming up with an idea and start writing a story and make it up as he goes. In writing circles, this is known as a pantser, as in writing by the seat of your pants, as opposed to having a story constructed and written out, outlined from beginning to end before you start fleshing out the details. You can sometimes see that in the results of Stephen King's stories. They do tend to kind of meander, and this makes the plus side is this makes for less predictable stories. Sometimes you don't see the twist coming, but a lot of times he'll write himself into corners and have to use Deus Ex Machina plot contrivances to get him out of corners that he paints himself into. And sometimes he runs out of ideas before the story reaches a logical conclusion, and that's, I think, largely what happened with this series. The basic premise, it's rather self-explanatory. The town's going about their regular business, and all of a sudden, for no apparent reason, they're under what appears to be a giant glass dome, but completely impenetrable. Nobody can get in or out, and so we have to follow the story of the town residents, what they do to get by. They need to get food. They need insulin. People with there's a character with diabetes that's gonna have trouble getting the insulin that she needs, and all the other things that might go along with a bizarre scenario like this. I wasn't too impressed with the characters. One of the things Stephen King often falls back on in his story writing is he'll throw some characters together into a situation, and then he always has one of them with a screw loose that just inexplicably kind of goes berserk and sociopathic and starts attacking the others. You see it in a lot of his stories, and there's a little bit of that in this too. And one of the younger characters, the sheriff's son, I think it was, started out being written as pretty despicable. I mean, he kidnaps a woman, a young lady that he's got a crush on, locks her in a cellar. She nearly dies, and yet a few episodes later, they've written this. They're writing this character to be more relatable, one of the good guys, if you will, and he's hanging out with and interacting with the others as if that's all water under the bridge. Well, that's not water under the bridge. You don't kidnap someone and lock them in a cellar, and then a few episodes later, suddenly you're all on good terms again. It's not believable writing, and I think that made it a little bit hard to relate to this story. Also, the basic premise is probably better suited to a movie or miniseries than an open-ended series, because there's only so much you can do. Okay, they're locked under this dome, and a season later, yep, they're still locked under this dome, and then you get some of the random Stephen King style stuff that kicks in later that doesn't seem to make a whole lot of sense and is a little bit cringeworthy. I tapered off. I lost interest. So what do you think? Do you give this a thumbs up or a thumbs down? Let us know in the comments. And we really appreciate you sticking with us as we grow this channel. Please do the usual: share, subscribe, like, and whatnot. help us grow. And if you have any suggestions for things you'd like to hear us review in the future, leave those in the comments as well.